Hello, everybody. This is a story about love, ambition, and betrayal. My name is Alex, and I want to share how I helped the woman I loved achieve everything she ever wanted, only to watch her walk away, leaving me with nothing but loneliness. Sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones who have hurt you the worst. Here's my story. I met Emma when we were both struggling to build our futures. I just started my own business, working long hours and sacrificing everything to turn my dream into reality. She was working a regular job but had big dreams of her own, dreams of wealth, status, and a life filled with luxury. From the very beginning, I was drawn to her ambition. She wasn't just beautiful, she had a fire in her that made me believe we could build something great together. We talked about the future endlessly, making plans, dreaming about the day we wouldn't have to worry about money. I wanted to give her the world, and I was willing to work myself to the bone to do it. I supported her in every way I could. I helped her enroll in courses, introduced her to people who could help her a career, and even invested in her first business idea. Every success she had felt like our success, and I was proud of what we were building. Little did I know, I was only paving the road for her to walk away. As my business grew, so did our lifestyle. I finally started making real money, and I spared no expense in making Emma happy. I wanted her to have everything she had ever dreamed of. Expensive vacations, designer clothes, fine dinings. She had supported me when I was struggling, and now it was my turn to return the favor. She started her own business with my financial backing, of course. I invested in her ideas, gave her guidance, and helped her build connections that she wouldn't have had on her own. It took time, but eventually she found success. What started as a small side hustle turned into something bigger. She gained clients, recognition, and soon her own name in the industry. At first I was thrilled. Every milestone she reached felt like a shared victory. We were a power couple, building an empire together. I was proud of her, of us. We celebrated in each achievement with expensive dinners, bottles of champagne, and weekend getaways. But something changed. As her business flourished, so did her independence, financially and emotionally. She became more confident, more ambitious, and before I realized it, more distant. At first I thought it was just the stress of her new career. She was working longer hours, meeting new people, and spending less and less time with me. Business trips that used to be optional became mandatory. Calls that used to be included started happening behind closed doors. She had new friends, wealthy, successful people who lived the lifestyle she had always dreamed of. I tried to ignore the nagging feeling that something was off. I told myself that this was what I had always wanted for her, to thrive, to succeed, to feel secure in her abilities. But every time I voiced my concerns, she reassured me. "I'm doing this for us," she would say, flashing that same smile that had once made me feel like the luckiest man alive. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. After all, hadn't I built this life for us? But looking back, I realized that her success didn't bring us closer. It pushed us apart. Slowly, little things started to bother me. The way she always seemed to be texting someone but never let me see her phone. The late nights at work events where she came home smelling like expensive cologne that wasn't mine. The way she looked at me, not with love, but with something colder, something distant. I tried to push those thoughts away. I convinced myself that I was just being paranoid, that I needed to trust her. After all, we had built everything together. She wouldn't betray me. She wouldn't throw it all away. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Her wardrobe changed. She started dressing differently, more expensive, more polished, always putting extra effort into her appearance, even on days when she was supposedly just working from home. Her social media became a highlight reel of luxury, filled with places she had never told me she was going to, with people I had never met. Conversations between us became surface level. She stopped talking about the future like she once did. The we in our dreams turned into I. When I asked her about it, she just laughed it off, saying I was imagining things. But I wasn't. The intimacy we once shared had dwindled, replaced by silence and excuses. She was always tired, always busy, always somewhere else in her mind. The warmth between us faded, replaced by something colder, something transactional, as if I were no longer her partner but just another piece of the lifestyle she was curating. And yet, despite all the signs, I still wanted to believe in us. I still held on to hope, even as I felt her slipping further and further away. One evening I saw her phone light up with a message from her from an unknown number. My heart pounded as I glanced at the screen. Last night was amazing. I can't wait to see you again. I felt my entire world collapse in that moment. My hands shook as I picked up her phone. I hesitated, knowing that whatever I was about to see would destroy me, but I had to know. I had to see it with my own eyes. The messages were undeniable. She had been seeing someone else for months. All the late nights, the secrecy, the distance. It all made sense now. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she never really was. When I confronted her, she didn't even try to deny it. She just sighed as if she had been waiting for this moment and said, "Alex, we have grown apart. I need more. I need someone who can give me the life I deserve." I had given her everything. Every ounce of love, every sacrifice, every dream. I had handed it to her, and she threw it all away like it meant nothing. She left, moving in with the man she had been seeing behind my back. A man who was wealthier, more powerful, someone who could give her more than I ever could. For weeks I was broken. I'd spent years building a life with someone who had only been using me as a stepping stone. The loneliness was suffocating, but the worst part was realizing that I'd never really mattered to her. But as time passed, I started to see things differently. I realized that her betrayal wasn't a reflection of my worth. It was a reflection of hers. She had chosen money over love, luxury over loyalty. And in the end, she had lost something far greater than wealth. And it took time, but I healed. I rebuilt my life, not for anyone else, but for myself. And I learned the hardest, most valuable lesson of all. Love isn't about money. And those who chase wealth at the cost of real connection will always end up empty. I made her rich, and she left me with nothing. But in the end, I gained something far more valuable, freedom from someone who never truly loved me. And that is a trade I would make any day.